Hey, bless up, fam. You know, life is funny sometimes. Sometimes you don't know what the next minute or the next second is going to bring in your life. I was thinking about some situations in my life where one time I was at this high stress job and I was working and I was working and I had so much responsibility and it was overwhelming. And I could not get this particular job out of my head, you know. Even when I rarely got sleep, I dreamt about it. I laid in my bed, I thought about it. On my way to work, I would have panic attacks, just feeling overwhelmed, you know. I seen times where I had to stop at a traffic light and just having heart palpitations and just shortness of breath and everything, but trying to get to the job. Even though I was in a position where I didn't have to be like there at a certain time, but I still had the discipline to be there because I expected my staff to be there. And so as a leader, I wanted to be there. And the job kept being more and more stressful, more and more responsibility, to the part where it got overwhelming. And I knew I needed to get up from that desk, and I knew I needed to go on my walks, on my breaks, and this and that. So I would go on these walks, and one day I went on this walk on my break, and I took the break, and on my way back, I was struggling. I didn't think I was gonna make it back to the office. Shortness of breath, my heart was beating. I got anxiety. I know I got anxiety that I have to deal with from period of time, but this was like on another level. And I couldn't hide it because a lot of times what I do is try not to show it to others because people will panic and then they'll think that I'm pretty much out of here. So I try to shield it or try to hide it, but this time I could not hide. And as I was making my way back to the office, I was struggling to keep my balance to sit down. And so some of my staff, they saw that and they started panicking. And when they started panicking, they pretty much thought I was fixing to have a heart attack or a stroke or something. They didn't know what was going on. And I said, hey, I'm having anxiety right now. I just need to get myself together. And they're like, no, you don't look good. You don't look good. You don't look good at all. And so they called 911 and it was a big to-do. I mean, police came in, EMS, fire trucks, everybody came in. It was a big to-do. It was, for some strange reason, I was just like, I felt like it didn't deem for that being necessary. But make a long story short, they rushed me to the hospital. They have me doing all these different tests and all this other cardio tests and all this other stuff. My blood pressure is through the roof. And I know that I'm stressed. I know that I'm tired because I wasn't getting any sleep. And one thing about your body, if your body don't get any sleep, it starts shutting down. And got to the hospital. They put me on the treadmill, did the stress test. And I was fine throughout the stress test. But then once it was over with, they still had me connected to the EKG. And they noticed that there were irregularities in my heartbeat when I was slowing down. I was fine elevating going up, but as I started to relax, they saw some irregularities with my heart. And then it led to another quandary of different things. Ended up, they did this like, they pretty much prepped me in my groin and in my arm. They wanted to go through my arm and send like this scope up through my arm to my heart and to monitor my heart. They say if it don't go right, we'll have to go through your groin. So we're gonna prep it just in case we have to do it so we won't have to bring you back and forth. Never heard of this, never knew anything about this. And it was like scary, scary, scary. Everybody was all serious, all stern faced. And I didn't know what was gonna happen on the other side of this. It felt like I wasn't gonna come through this situation. I felt like they weren't sharing with me everything they saw. And, you know, even though I would ask questions and be inquiring about the situation, I didn't know what was going on. And meanwhile, they talk to you, they walk you through what's gonna happen to the best of their ability, but you still don't know because you ain't never did that before. And I get ready to do the procedure. They got this big old monitor just sitting, and I'm laying on this table pretty much. I feel like it was a table. And this big old flat screen, and then they got these little old monitors, what they looking at, and everybody all suited up and everything like that, like it's a full-fledged operation type thing. And go through that situation and you're not asleep. Like I'm awake. They give me sedatives. I can feel the probing, feel the movement, feel it going all up in my heart. They'll tell me take a deep breath and do this and do that, and it's like you can tell something is in you that's foreign. And they watch and they look and they see, and they really didn't see nothing at that time. But I remember something that they said, and it sticks with me, and it reminds me of a verse that I want to share with you. They send the monitor up through, but they say before they started, you're gonna have to take a deep breath, right? And they say, be still. And I'm thinking, be still? You finna send a probe up through my arm, across my chest, into my heart, and you talking about be still and relax. And I'm like, we gave you something to help you relax, but I don't care what you give somebody and they fully conscious, they fully awake, it's hard to be still. And I'm saying all this to say is because my baby girl, she traveling, and my girls, they travel from time to time, but sometimes in life you feel vulnerable, like you want to be there for every single moment for the people that you love and you care, and you want them to be safe in these uncertain times. And then I'm thinking about all of this madness, this crazy going on, and I wanted to share this with you. And it's Psalms 46:10. It says, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among nations. I will be exalted in the earth. I'm hoping that that verse brings you comfort like it brought me comfort during my challenging times. Sometimes there's so many things that's so big on a worldwide scale and it's so overwhelming, and you hear about all these different things and you don't know what's going to get ready to happen. That same thing that happened throughout my life at different milestones in my life. Sometimes we have to just give it to God. And when I say sometimes, I'm really meaning all the times, but you really have to really focus about communicate and intentionally saying, God, I'm giving this to you. I'm being still. And being still means to relax, to relieve, to let go, to get comfortable, take a breath, step away, don't stress, but be still because He is God. And the fact that you know that God is God, God is in control, and God got you. And He will be honored, not only in this nation, but throughout this world. So have comfort, my friend, be strong, keep pushing on, and know we can get through this. And there's hope, and there's a faith that we should have in God. Y'all be well, stay blessed, and don't forget to keep on growing. Grow.